Woohoo. It says we are live.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to Film Prom Society. It's been like a year.
Just a bit. It's fine.
It's fine. The plan for today is going to be talk a bit about videos made for this prompt, and then mostly chatting about how we have progressed as filmmakers to tie in with the prompt. So, introductions. My name is Jules. I am a YouTuber-y occasionally person. I'm terrible at thinking of what to say to introduce myself. I guess technically now freelance video editor, because I do actually do that, and make short films and stuff in my spare time, and stupid YouTube videos. So, Henry, got something slightly more proper to say?
No, not at all. I'm Henry. Henry is Human on YouTube and pretty much every social media platform, I believe, minus Tumblr, but I don't use that anyway, so it's fine. I make videos about software development and generally like messing around with funny beeps and boops on the computer. And that's me.
Much more eloquent than mine. So, and anyone who's in the chat, if you want to introduce yourself with a quick what you do if you make videos. So, how do we want to do this? It's been such a long time since I've run one of these streams.
Yeah.
So the prompt for this month was something old. So we interpreted that as reflecting back on how we have improved, looking back at early videos, stuff we used to watch and absorb as video content when we first started creating things, and getting all nostalgic and reminiscing about the before times. So, I made a video which is linked below in the playlist. You can still, if you want to make something for this prompt, you still can, and it'll get added to the playlist. And then hopefully next month we'll have time to chat about previous ones as well as ones for next month's prompt, if that makes sense. So, Jamie.
Sorry, I was just reading the comments and realizing I wasn't paying attention to anything.
Yeah.
I'm professional.
Yeah, we're a bit out of practice at this, so it's fine.
So we talked about your video, right?
So yeah, I made a little short that trying to use the new YouTube Shorts. I say new; it's been around for a while. I've just never used it. So basically, they want to be TikTok a little bit and try and get some of that short video format. So
I didn't realize how long shorts have been going for. I thought they were brand new, but like I've seen shorts from last November and stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like, I'm slow to adopt these new technologies. I'm old, so. Jamie said that, yeah, if SITC's normally in August and all adults are meant to be vaccinated by the end of July, maybe. I'm not sure how I feel about it that soon after, I would love to. I miss it. I miss it so much. And like the last couple of years of summer in the city, I've been a bit like, oh, do I, is it worth coming to this? Like, I don't really get much from the event itself. It's just like hanging out with people. That's the thing. And after this year of not being able to go, it's like, no, it is worth it. The hanging out with people is worth it. So
that was the good bit. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I want to do that again, please.
There's Vidcon as well, which apparently is a lot better.
My experience of the Vidcon Europe in Amsterdam a few years back was better than SITC because it was a bit more because they have like the creator track with more like, that was more like a conference, whereas the rest of it's more like a convention. And yeah. I did enjoy that. So if they do is it January or February that they were running VidCons? Yeah.
I remember Hack of the Dog was there last year.
So if that happens next year, I would probably be up for that. And I'm on the fence about SITC because big city, big convention. Will people be vaccinated? Will that be sufficient? Who knows?
Yeah, it's hopefully optimistic. Things will be fine. We'll see.
Yeah,
February should be okay.
Yeah.
Wink.
And TwitchCon is a thing, right? Possibly. There's been a few different ones that were popping up over the last couple of years of like online content conventions. So, but there was one, wasn't there one that was at the same time as Sitsi a few years ago?
Yeah, I seem to remember something like that.
I can't remember what it was though.
No.
But fingers crossed, before too long, we can all gather together in the same convention hall and not be able to hear each other over the echoey screams from the rides. And
was that a question? What are shorts, Jamie?
Possibly.
Yeah, shorts are like they're just come on, Brian, you got this. It's like YouTube trying to do TikTok, basically. Yeah. You said that before, didn't you? That sounds familiar, like words you said. That you have to upload them in vertical format, and they have to be less than a minute long. At the moment, YouTube seems to prioritize bumping shorts to the front page, as it turns out. So most shorts get a lot more views than the rest of your videos, like according to people that use it a lot.
Yeah, the one that I've done definitely didn't. It did very similar in performance, but also I hadn't uploaded anything to that channel in 2 months. So probably not the best data. But yeah, at the moment, if you're in India, you can also make shorts directly on your phone. Like there's a subset of the app that allows you to like record and edit them, but they haven't expanded that yet. It's like they're testing it in India. So
yeah.
Yeah, when I was trying to work out how to make it count as a short, all the guides were like, open the short section on your app. And it's like, I don't have that.
Yeah, it's apparently just vertical and less than a minute. So that's fine.
Yeah. And hashtag shorts in the description or the title or something just to like tag it. So
yeah. Can I talk about the idea that I had for my video?
Yeah, go for it.
So way back in the day, I used to watch a YouTuber called Mystery Guitar Man a lot, and I was obsessed with his videos. More so that in order to make them, he made he made stop motion videos of him playing music and doing weird and wacky things in the background. And I thought that was really cool. On one side, it was just like cool and snappy and poppy and fun. And the other side, it means you don't actually have to know how to play an instrument properly to do it. You just need to know a bit of music theory. So that appealed to me a lot. And I remember trying to make one, but it was just me hitting the table for funny noises. And I made a beat, but I deleted the video the second it went up because it was awful. But I wanted to do something similar to that, but coding. And already I'm getting a bit high concept for something that was supposed to be a short idea. But this is what happens if I'm given a prompt and then some guidelines, and I'm like, no, I don't want to stick to those. Actually, that's ridiculous. I'm gonna be silly.
Tell me what to do.
So my idea was to put something together, like print a huge ASCII picture of Mystery Guitar Man's face or something, and do that. And because I was going to steal the idea of you to use shorts for that, because I saw you use shorts, and I was like, this would be a really good one for a short. But I recorded all this footage I need for the video, and then it came to the song to do, and I just like, it kind of just stops there, like altogether. I was like, all I need to do is find a song that fits this. Usually, like with Mr. Guitar Man, it was either like a funk beat or something like that. And I have a lot of those in my just music folder on this computer because they're nice to have in the background on YouTube videos. But I just couldn't find one that fit. And then I threw a strop and then didn't finish it. So that's my progress. I'll probably try and put it together after this. It's probably because I had a deadline and I wasn't hitting the deadline that I was throwing a strop. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Sounds cool though.
Yeah. No, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, we can play with the rules a little bit and see what works for people as much as anything, because previously we've been very like, try and make it less than 3 minutes long, but if it's longer than that, that's fine. But I'm trying to focus it down a little bit, and rather than trying to think about doing a big project, like, because even like a 3-minute short film can take several days of filming depending on the scope of it, and so
It's editing for me that gets me.
Yeah, so it's just keeping it relatively short. Like mine, I managed to make something that was under a minute, just like it's like 56 seconds or something.
Nice.
But I have 5 minutes of footage for that. It took me maybe half an hour to edit it down because it was just cut and then just doing a few little cutting the edits as like absolute minimum dead time as possible, because that's very much how it was done in that era of vlogging. You do not have time to breathe.
No,
you just like, and once I'd done that, there we go, that was done. But the prep time for it, because I made props, I spent hours making props. So it did end up taking far longer than I intended, because I had several days, because I was waiting for paint to dry and stuff, like of actually making stuff. So I still slightly went over the scope of what I intended. My plan was that I should be able to come up with the idea, shoot and edit it all in one day without that like taking up my entire day. It should be really casual, but no, like I still. So
I think you really captured that vibe. This was only one prop, and that was the ukulele in the background. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. You did it. You don't need anything else in this video.
Oh yeah, it was making the ukulele because it was just waiting for the paint to dry. Just because it's just a bit of cardboard. So
did you make the flower crown, or did you just have that one?
I did, yeah. It's actually back here. But,
and of course, like the knee socks were pretty good as well.
Yeah, like these like felt roses took so much longer than I intended. So I need to like repurpose them. I need to unstitch them off the elastic and put them on something else. So how will this work with headphones? Yes.
Whoa. So, that's really cool though. I didn't realize you'd stitch those. I thought they were like real ones, but
yeah, this is me being like, I'm gonna make something and spend 2 hours doing something that really is not necessary.
They look really good though.
I'm quite proud of them, yeah. So
what's this?
Yeah, need to put them on something else now that they're just hanging around.
TickTube, I see, taking notes. Sorry, I've just sorry, Jamie, I haven't been paying attention.
I like TickTube. TickTube is good.
TickTube is good. Yeah, they are beautiful jewels. So, was there anything else in that video that I missed? I just remember the triforce of power with the socks, the crown, and the ukulele.
I think that was the main thing.
Okay.
The socks actually have raccoon faces on the feet as well, but you can't see it from the way I'm sitting. But yeah, like I was going to just film it in what I was wearing, and I was like, no, I've got to wear skinny jeans. I can't have my baggy jeans. It's got to be skinny jeans for this time. And then I was like, let's put some big socks on as well. Why not? So.
And you had the Kevin MacLeod sound in the background as well.
Yes, that like I just googled like the Kevin MacLeod vlog music.
MacLeod,
first result, like it's called Carefree. So
is that the dun 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 dun?
Yeah, that's the one. It's so good. Like there are a couple of others. Like I watched some people had made like compilations of the music that Zoella uses a lot and stuff like that. And I was listening through and I was like, nah, it's not that one piece of music that was just everywhere. So it needs to be that.
Is that the one used in Breakup Buddy?
I don't know.
Is the Kevin MacLeod one used in Breakup Buddy?
I mean, it's always possible. So. And
then Will did some funky editing on it to make it discordant when Breakup Buddy got stressed. It was a good one. But yeah, like I think that was a touch of genius. I didn't even consider the music, but that was a huge part of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, like when I edited it was like, cool, that's good. And then I put the music in, it was like, perfect. Like
there we go. I'm back.
Done. No more work needed.
Just been elected for a second term.
Oh, yeah. It's just like 2013 feels like so long ago and also like yesterday.
Right? It's a weird one. Like that 2013, 2012 was around the same time of what was it? Coney 2012. And what other stuff was happening on YouTube at that moment in time? God knows what.
Like originally I was going to say 2012 because that feels like peak vlogging YouTube time to me. But then all the things I wanted to reference, like the cup song and things like that, they were all happening in 2013 videos. I was like,
cup
all right, fine.
2013? Oh my words.
Yeah. And then Dodie watched the video. So
yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh, that was great. Because I tweeted just saying like, oh, I've did this video with inspirations from and just added Amazing Phil, Carrot Hope Fletcher, and Dodie, because they were like the three main like YouTubers that I felt influenced that particular. There were others that like obviously I watched at the time that influenced it a little bit. And then yeah, just like 5 minutes later, just a comment from Dodie, and I was like, "What? Okay, sure." Someone actually looks at the net, because most people who have like a big following, they have their notifications to like just like blue ticks only, because otherwise they get bombarded by so much stuff. So I just assume anyone with a blue tick is not going to see when I directly at them. Like, I was just like, "Oh, okay, sure." Glad you liked it, Dodie.
It's a good video. I need to rewatch it as well, because I was watching it. I think I was working when I watched it, so I probably wasn't paying as much attention as I should have. But I don't remember what you were talking about in it. Is the thing I was too like enamored by the aesthetic.
The actual words that were said were not that relevant. It was the aesthetic. So yeah. I was mainly just referencing how we used to go out and do things in 2013, and now we don't.
Oh, so. Yes, you were, weren't you?
Yeah. Just the casually like, yeah, I'll just pick another one of these up when I'm at the shop next, you know. Like, those were the days. So like my original script for it had it being a bit more like meta, of like the bag being my bag from now, and like pulling out like a face mask and being confused, like, what is this? But then I was like, this isn't quite making a full amount of sense, so I'm just going to change it. So
it had big what's that, big PJ vibes with that though. Or big Jamie Does Things Bobbin era.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that.
Oh, it's very good. Jamie, I'm just dropping your channel. I hope that's okay. It's what there's a YouTuber that I used to watch that was like that, who made up their life pretty much, and it was obvious they were making up their life. That was kind of the aesthetic. I can't remember what they're called. They were very similar to PJ in that respect, but I think they're American. All time. What's in my bag? Oh my god. Very good. Yeah, I did have another idea for this prompt, and that was something along the lines of, I used to make PowerPoint presentations a lot because I loved them. Because one time at school we were given a lesson where they were like, obviously the IT teacher was checked out at this point. It was like summer. It was warm. Everyone just wanted to go home. The second they got to school, everyone was like, oh, it's home time now, pretty much. So an IT teacher would give us the task of, oh, make me a presentation about something you like. So I was like, okay, and just made like absolutely everything. And of course we didn't get to present these. And he was like, oh yeah, if you save them, I'll be able to look at them, don't worry. We're like, okay, yeah, sure, okay. And then so I made some presentations when I was little. I'd use them to animate, and I'd use them to just show off things I like, because that's how I thought you animated. You put pictures in PowerPoint and press spacebar really fast, and then which it's the right idea. Yeah. That's how animation works, just not maybe in PowerPoint. But I made two animations. One of a guy called Blob getting sliced up by a big bear, and then another one by I don't even remember. Oh yeah, there's a guy fishing and he gets pulled in the water by a big shark, and then a Simpsons one that was just a regular PowerPoint. And I was going to show off something like that, but I had no idea how I was going to make that into a short. And if the point I wanted to come across is, this is what I used to do, and I'm trying to channel that energy, but I couldn't figure out a way of doing that and showing off the thing that I wanted to show off within a minute. So yeah, it was odd. I am planning a video and showing off those two dumb presentations I made when I was like 10. Oh, it was in secondary school, so I've been like 12 or something. But yeah, that's another. I had loads of ideas for this one. I am just poor at executing them. Poor job.
Yeah, it's often the way. So, whereas I'm more like, I don't have an idea, is more my problem. And then I just said, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Ugh. So but my original thought for this was to recreate one of my first videos, or like a section of one of my first videos, just to kind of see. But like my early videos, like not something that I desperately either wanted to recreate or that I could because of like COVID. So because like the first video I uploaded to Jules Ender is a little day in the life vlog going out and about doing stuff. And I'm just like, I don't think I could. Yeah. Like I could technically go for a walk and film it, but yeah.
It would just be the walking. The scenery's nice where you live though, so that's all right.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's a nice bit. It's just I get annoyed at the moment. Like this weekend, the weather's been lovely, but I haven't been out for a walk because where I live is where people drive to when they shouldn't be driving to places to go to walk, and it's just so busy. Like a nice weekend, I'm like, nope, not leaving my house. There's just too many people. So. It was
the same in Cumbria. Everyone's trying to get to Keswick as much as they can because that's where the pretty hills is. That's the pretty town with the pretty lake and the pretty hills.
Yeah. So yeah, once I'm not trying to keep 2 meters from every single person, which is not possible when it's that busy, then it'd be fine. But at the moment, I'm like, no, not going out. So I'll go out when it rains.
Oh yeah,
thankfully it is most of the time. So, so shall we chat a bit more about how we have improved since we first started making videos?
Yeah, I can do that.
Anything come to mind in particular?
I used to make horrible Let's Plays, and now I don't. So that's an improvement.
Me too.
I still have those on my old channel. That like the oldest video I have was one of the first Minecraft videos. They were all Minecraft, by the way. One of the first videos I uploaded was it was back in Minecraft. They just added fences to Minecraft. I remember that's how long ago it was. And I didn't realize at the time that spiders were docile during the day and angry at night. And so I found a spider and I was pushing it, and I had the Windows Movie Maker text appear on screen saying, "What are you doing, spider? Why aren't you fighting me?" and stuff like that. That was one of the first videos I ever made for YouTube. In that iteration, the previous iterations of my YouTube channel were nuked. So that's the oldest one that is still currently on my channel that you can't see because it's privated. But then I did loads more Let's Plays and then scrapped all that. And this channel, I guess, I'm better at organizing my videos and organizing my resources for them. I just remembered I dreamed about a scorpion. I got by. Oh no! Sorry, Jamie got by a scorpion.
Oh no, that is a terrifying part of Animal Crossing, to be fair. So.
But yeah, in moving, I managed to even more formally organize everything, I guess, when I put my new SSD in my computer, because it meant moving across a load of files and just binning a load that I didn't need or want. So now all my resources, like my music and sound effects files and images that I regularly use, are all organized and stuff. So that's really nice. It made making those videos at the start of this year, the 12 Days of Christmassy ones, really easy to do because I had all my resources there and then. It wasn't just in a big file labeled images.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I've improved the most. What about you?
I think just like having a bit of a plan when I make videos and like an idea of what I'm actually doing more than anything. Because the first like 6 months of making videos was very much me just being like, I shall pick up my camera and just record, with very little thought as to what was going on. Even when I was doing like a talking to camera about something in particular, like I would just ramble. So yeah, like I actually like write scripts and stuff now. So revelation. I started writing scripts on this channel, and that's the first time I ever did it. And I think I've got better at that. I often write
So when I first started this channel as well, I often forgot to put funny ideas I had to put on the screen, or to imply during certain bits of the thing, and like the tone of voice I should say certain bits in it. And I think that's helped. Just like, and that is very like what's the word for it? Like absolutely micromanaging the hell out of that script, but it works. I think it's useful for me to know in some cases that I should put like a big funny gnome man on the screen at this point in time, specifically because in my head that was hilarious at the time. But I know coming to edit it, I'd get to that point and be like, what am I supposed to be putting here? I need to put something here. And I struggle with that still mostly whenever I'm editing something. I don't want, on the videos that I actually put effort into editing, ignoring the 12 Days of Christmas ones, because I deliberately put no effort into those. It was great.
It's really freeing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did that with a lot of Vlogmas as well. Like some of it was planned and everything, but yeah, most of them were just like, hey, let's just talk to the camera, especially since like it all fell apart with work. So I was just sort of like, here's an update on how everyone's got COVID and I'm really overworked.
But yeah, where was I going? I can't remember. It's probably not useful anyway. It's yeah, it just having those ideas written down. And hang on, where was I? Went from the goblin face. That's the bookmark that I put in my head. Goblin man, a point on the screen. And remember, oh yeah, that's it. The hard bit for me when editing videos is making sure something is happening all the time. And I want my videos to have too much energy, I think. I want like this to be something happening on the screen all the time. And that is probably a bad habit, but I think it works in the length of videos that I make, like 3 to 5 minutes. But it's quite tricky in some cases when I say something that there isn't something obvious I can just dump on the screen. And sometimes I've been really lazy and just put, I can't find something to put on the screen, so please enjoy this text or something like that.
Nothing wrong with that.
and I like I like doing that because that's funny, but I can't overuse that because then it's obvious that I'm just being lazy. So I think I've improved slightly in that, mostly through the script writing.
And it's just a case of like finding your style as well, because I feel like your videos are very distinctively yours in the way that you edit them and put them together. And yeah, all this constant things happening both visually and in what you're saying as well. And yeah, it's the sort of thing that you get to by practicing and realizing, now this works better, this timing works better. And yeah, it's just, there's chaos and you need to rewatch the video 3 times to absorb it. So
I've learned to love my voice a lot more. I say love, tolerate, I think is the correct word.
It's because I'm in a couple of like subreddits of like small YouTubers and stuff, and such a common thing people mention is like, how do you like get over hating listening to your voice? And it's like everyone always just says, you just got to keep at it and eventually you'll stop hating it. And that is the case. So
eventually you just go on, sorry.
I was saying, yeah, like I think for most of us, we don't go, oh, my voice sounds great. It's just a case of like, it no longer makes me cringe when I hear my own voice recorded. So
after a while, I just sort of like got to the point where I just started to think, oh, that's not my voice. It's fine. That's someone else talking to me. And I think that helps if I just imagine that it's not me in there. But it's getting trickier the more I listen back to my videos because, I mean, like, this is something I'm just saying for the sake of this conversation, but like your voice sounds totally different outside your head than inside it. Inside it's all rattling around inside your skull and stuff. So it sounds totally different to everyone who's listening. Yeah. And for a while I could get away with being like, that's someone else because it sounds completely different to my voice. But I've started to hear what effect is happening to my voice when it comes out of my skull. And now it's very hard for me to say, that's not me. So I'll get over that bridge when I come to it.
Yeah, at this point, that when I hear my voice and when I hear it recorded, it sounds the same to me now. Like my brain has reached a point where it acknowledges these are the same and just makes them sound the same, I guess. like a weird or auditory illusion sort of thing, where it's like, no, this is how your voice sounds. So I don't know whether just I hear my brain is reprocessing the weird echoey in your head voice to change the pitch and stuff to sound like, because in my head it always sounded more high pitched, my voice, than it actually is. I have a relatively deep voice for a woman, so like, yeah, it's strange. I don't fully understand the science.
No, I don't get to do that. In my head, my voice sounds less nasally than it really is in real life. And then when I hear my voice, it's like, oh, hello, everyone. What's going on? I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is
One
that?
of my favorite things is people doing an impression of their own voice by changing their own voice. I love it.
So yeah, I've gotten over that. It's fine. But yeah, it took some time. Mostly listening to myself back on YouTube videos on the Let's Plays. That really got rid of any sort of sense of cringe I got from like hearing my own voice, because that is dumbass. Sorry, that's kind of a swear. I shouldn't swear. That is dumb head, dumb butt. 18-year-old me fumbling around in Minecraft with my friend, and we're climbing trees together and saying dumb stuff. So if you get, I think actually having old Let's Plays helps, because you just got to watch them and desensitize yourself to them.
Yeah. Like a few months back, I did a video where I watched back like my videos that I was most proud of when I made them. Like when I looked through my back catalogue of ones that, yeah, I was like, oh, that was a good video. Rewatched them and kind of reevaluated them, and that was fun and weird to go back and be like, because some of it was a bit cringy, like on the older videos. I'm like, oh god, like because I've got a series called Tales of Anosmia where I talk about having no sense of smell, and the first one of those is very well viewed because there's not an awful lot of that content out there, and it's been around for a couple of years now. And I just think how many people like landed on my channel through that video, and that's their first impression of me, because it's the most fake, like, hi guys, I'm doing a vlog talking about a thing, and it's like, oh, I hate it so much. Like the content is fine, but I'm just like way too keen and intense talking into the camera, and I'm like, don't like it. Like
I think that is better than being really timid when you're first.
Oh yeah, no, like and I also think back and cringe a little bit, because the second video I uploaded on my channel, I think I do still have it there, was talking about the Swansea Tidal Lagoon project that was like almost ready to go, greenlit, and then ended up getting scrapped, and then the government were like, no, we're not doing it, and it's a whole thing. But I made this video, and it was very awkward, like me reading out facts, trying to remember my script, and it's all very stilted. And I made some like graphics by animating stuff, by making lots of individual images in Photoshop and then putting them together in like, and it's just like, it's not great. And I just remember how I met the YouTuber Tom Scott at Summer in the City that year. I had 6 subscribers when I went to that Summer in the City. Nice. I talked to him and said that I started making some like educational stuff that like partly was inspired by watching his videos, and he said, oh, send me a link, so I did, and he actually gave me some feedback, and I'm like, oh god, he watched this video, and like thinking back, and it's like, this is such, oh no. So
nice. Oh, that's good though, that's really cool. Gosh,
it's very nice of him to actually take a look, like very,
yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it, and actually give me feedback, even though it was absolute garbage. But
I was going to say something, it's gone. That's going to be most of these streams is me going. I was going to say something, but then I forgot it. The second I processed the thought, it was gone. God, how do we get there? I'll go back. Tom Scott, your videos, you making a video about early videos, early you videos, Tales of Anosmia. I'm stuck there. That's where I get. That's where I get.
No, sorry, I forget as well. What are we talking about?
Got it. No, I remember. We were talking about looking back at old videos. Mm-hmm. I am planning on looking back at a couple of videos that I've done, just to be like, kind of pick it apart. And I just, it's going to be a bit of fun, not necessarily like me being malicious at myself, because that's a bad habit to have. But like, I was looking through all my videos and I was like, oh, some of these early ones I quite like. It's the recent ones that I don't like. It's very odd. The one that I want to look at the most is the Chumbawamba one that I made, because there's a lot of bits in that I'm like, you were too close to this video. You needed to step back for a bit before, because that what you said there doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's not a sentence. Like, so I've been meaning to look at that, because some things I said were just like straight up factually incorrect, which is great. Yeah. If anyone looks at that video, just take it with a pinch of salt. I said things that were dumb. I said the main theme of it. Fine, I'm fine with that. It's all good. Aces. There's just little tiny details that I'm just like, that was dumb. That was dumb. So expect to see that on my channel of me being like, the fun band that I love, I fumbled around talking about them for a bit. What's this? There's a new comment on. Hang on, there's a comment on here, but I can't see it behind my mic. British public wrong about almost everything survey finds. Very good, Jamie. But yeah, I think it's useful to look at old videos, and even like ones you've just released. But like, that's the thing. It gets to the point when you're making a video. Where do you draw the line between, do I continue editing every tiny bit of detail, or do I just get this out, because otherwise it's never going to be released?
Yeah. So any piece of art or project or anything that doesn't have a finite, this is completed, like a test where you've answered all the questions, then yeah, you have to at some point decide it's done. And that is hard.
And I think I've been getting better with that. I think the Chumbawamba video was a bit of an anomaly and all that. But I do set specific points in my script of things that I want to say before I start writing the script. And that helps with it. But yeah, it's like, how many zoomies in your video is too many zoomies? Or like, how many points talking about, I think in one of the how to code in Python video, I'm talking about if statements and whether or not you're allowed to see the movie Ghost Stories. And it's like, how minute details and examples do you go into about that and things like that before it's just like a bit, the video goes off course completely. I do need to get better at that, but I think I have got better, all down to the scripts. I think that's I keep going back to that. Write a good script. Even if it's just like vague points of what you want to do.
Yeah, most of my videos that I've done on Jules Ender that are just like talking about a topic or something I've got some thoughts on, it will usually be, I will have 5 or 6 bullet points. It's just make sure you do talk about these things in this order. So there is some structure and you get somewhere with this video rather than just ramble for 20 minutes. And that's usually enough, because if I script it too heavily when I'm talking to camera, I end up stopping and thinking about what I've written. And yeah, then it ends up feeling like I'm reading from a script. I'm not very good at remembering lines and naturally delivering them. I am not an actress.
Well, like with a script, I write a sentence and don't necessarily say it, which is annoying because I tend to use the script to upload onto the video for it to closed caption it. And just like cut out all the like stage directions. But I can't do that on some of my videos because sometimes I'll read a line on the script and I'll go, no, I want to say this instead. I'm going to say this instead. So that's me struggling for no reason. But you don't have to stick to every line in the script that you write as long as what you say you prefer over. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I do scripts for chilled out game reviews, that I will read out word for word because I'm just using the audio. But if I'm recording video at the same time, I cannot deliver things naturally. So
what I just did then.
Yeah.
I do that if I do not have something specific to say. You'll notice it on the the 12 Days of Christmas ones. I keep referencing those because they have every good example of me not being great at what I'm doing in them. And that's because I didn't micromanage those that much. I did the code. The code was the bit that I fawned over in that. And then the video, I was just like, code on screen, do the preview, bim bam, maybe like a title here, and then do the outro credits. The outro credits I spent more time on than the rest of it. But like, yeah, you can see me when I'm talking do things like I was going to do it then unintentionally. I'll repeat words like that, and that makes it a bugger to edit because like I'll be talking that I do that like I'll do that all the time, and I just won't know where to cut it half the time, especially because I'll restart sentence halfway through the previous sentence. So I just kind of left it all in. It's like, why not? No, it's all in. It's fine. Sorry if I missed anything, just grabbing a charger. No worries, Jamie.
We're just rambling at this point anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's about self-improvement, and to self-improve, you need to know what you did wrong. And I'm very good at telling what I did wrong.
Yeah. I think I have, like you're saying with like knowing at what point to say it's done. My problem is usually going, it's done, and uploading it, and then rewatching a week later and being like, I should have tightened up that edit, and like, I should have just had a minute. Like if I'd gone through it once more, just a quick check, I could have fixed that little bit. And like, but I'm terrible for just being sort of like, I've been sat staring at this Premiere file for like 3 hours. I'm done. And rather than just go making a cup of tea and coming back and then finishing it, I'm just like, whatever, export, upload, done. Like,
which I think
impatience.
is the issue with the Chumbawamba video that I made. It's the longest video I've ever edited, ever, and it's only 15 minutes long. Like, aside from the Let's Plays where I just added a start and an end title to, it was like, I was, in my head, I'd hyped myself up. I'm doing a 5-minute video, and I edited a 15-minute video. But in my head, I was still like, this is 5 minutes, and I've spent like days on this. So I got to the point where I was like talking myself into just finishing it, being like, oh yeah, you don't want to go overboard on this because it's wild. Kind of talking myself out of doing any work. And I think had I just given it a look over, there'd have been loads of stuff that I picked up on. So I mean, like, even one example that I had to take the video down and re-upload it for, and that is there are Twitter posts that I show in the video, and I realized I left the usernames in, and I did not want to cause anyone any harm for whatever reason. Not that like there'll be lots of people watching this video that I was expecting, but I don't want to unintentionally cause someone to find this person and go, you're an idiot, lol. So I had to edit out all of those. And realistically, what I should have done then is watch the rest of the video and been like, does it all hold together? Is it all still good? And that the blurring of the names didn't affect anything, but I would have spotted like things like there is a scene where everything's black for like a frame. And that's it. And that is because I was shuffling around with the timings of how long I should show the tweets for on the screen. And I'd have just seen things like that. But also, I'd have seen some of the content and been like, well, I said that wrong. I know what I meant, but that's wrong what I said. So, yeah. I think... What do I think? And I think... Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, whilst you ponder, Jamie's been posting in chat that they've been doing a lot of prep for some Sims 4 streams and could add a promo for FPS to it because it is something old. Like,
nice.
Sounds like a good plan. So,
yeah, I think I still need to find that balance between when I'm going too far with editing and not going far enough with editing. And I think that one, when I initially thought of the video, I was expecting it to be long. I was not expecting it to be 15 minutes, and I was not expecting it to be 3 times the effort as my 5-minute videos, which surprising. Like,
who'd have thunk?
And so because it was 3 times the effort in my head, I was like, well, I've put in 3 times the effort of those videos, so it must be fine. I'll upload it. When maybe I should have gone further on that. Yeah.
I think having done a bit of editing for clients has also helped me to like streamline the process a little bit, and like, because I think like on my videos I have a tendency to be like, it's done, whereas I think I go the wrong way when I'm doing it for somebody else, because I'm like, they're paying for this, it has to be perfect. And then, but the lesson I've learned quite quickly is that when you edit a video for someone else, they will do a little fine tune at the end with the Premiere file that you send them, just to like make some little tweaks, and like, you know, because it's obviously their style and they might change a few things. So there is no point in fussing over every detail. It's just get it to the point where it's like decent, it's pretty good, all the essential things has been done, it could perfectly be uploaded in this state, and then let them do the minor tweaks. Because no matter what you do with like trying to like improve the sound, the audio quality, or like just slightly adjusting a edit, or you know, tweaking the color correction, like they might have a different idea of how to finish that. So it's like, so that has helped in a way for me to like not stress over the details, because yeah, like I shouldn't. So
yeah, I'm still finding my balance with that.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah, eventually. I've been on this one, this specific channel I've had since 2017, but realistically making videos since like February 2018. So I think there's been an improvement since then. Who knows? Yeah. I'd like to believe.
I don't think I've had much improvement in the last year or so, because I've only really made videos for chilled out games, which are all very much like the same in their style. And like, there's been a little bit of like, hopefully a little bit of improvement of how I write the reviews and things, but I've not been trying different stuff. And I think that's generally how you learn. So like Jules Ender has kind of been left by the wayside for the last year. So,
all right.
So I'm hoping that having these prompts at least will encourage me to make at least one video a month. But I've actually got a Google Doc at the moment with 2 little sections to it of high effort ideas and low effort ideas. So I've got stuff that I can very easily just like quickly draft a few bullet points, turn on the camera and record and edit and done. And stuff that needs like research doing to it, or like making props, or like making, you know, for like an actual little short and stuff. So depending on what I'm doing, I should, in theory, be able to upload semi-regularly now, because I've got the low effort ideas that really won't take more than half a day, and I can definitely fit those into my schedule. So, especially whilst I'm still not in work. So,
I might steal that. That's what I made. There's a series on my channel. Not really a series, but I've put them all in the same playlist on, and they're called Quick Code. It's Quick Code, basically. All the 12 Days of Christmas counted as that. There's one I made where I made ASCII Oreos and bananas and stuff like that. Those are all in there. When it's low effort video of me just coding, talking over the top of it, showing a result, like that. And it's called Quick Code, because that's what it is. And I think I need to have more of those ready, just in case I can't think of anything, or if I'm not currently in love with the current project that I'm doing.
Little palate cleanser.
Yeah. And it's just because like YouTube, it does this thing where if you don't upload regularly, your videos don't get that many, it doesn't get the clicks.
Yeah, I have a weird relationship with that though, because when I upload videos, they do okay, but when I don't upload videos for a while, I get massive spikes in viewership, and I don't understand what happens algorithmically here. It'll be like about 2 weeks after my last upload, I'll just get a gradual increase in impressions, and then it stays there. And then when I make videos, it goes back down, and I don't understand.
That is bizarre.
Don't know what weird hole my channel has fallen into, but it does better when I ignore it.
I was going to make a video about the YouTube algorithm and how it works, but hey, the idea that I had in my head and the points that it probably used to work like, the way that it used to function, just doesn't. It's not the case anymore. It's gone.
No, like people always hark on about uploading regularly, but I think that only helps people. If they know there's going to be a video once a week and it's usually on a Thursday or a Friday, then then they're more likely to show up and watch it. But I don't think the algorithm really cares so much anymore. Like maybe it can help, but my channel doesn't seem to care. Jamie said from external links. No, recommended videos primarily.
Bizarre.
Or direct searching for stuff, keywords, but don't get it.
It may be that you're just ahead of like a news story that hits the news, and then someone's watching it on The Guardian on YouTube, because people do that apparently, which is bizarre. And it'll probably come up at the side, and you'll see, oh, this video about making a short on YouTube. That's the first thing that came to mind. I'm really good at quick thinking like that.
The main videos that it does this for is the How to Ruin Your Mental Health as a PhD Student video, which is my most viewed video, which has little ebbs and flows. And in the last year, as mental health and students has been a thing, has definitely done well. I've got a lot of people commenting on that video recently.
Gosh.
And then also my anosmia videos, because that's also been topical in the last year as a COVID side effect. So like this year, like I don't understand what's going on with my with things so because I've got weird happening to be topical throwing in the mix as well.
Nice.
But I keep thinking I need to make a Tell Them Anosmia and talk about COVID, but I can't.
You get clicks from that. So many clicks from that.
I know, but I just it was Anosmia Awareness Day yesterday and I did nothing. So I feel kind of bad. I had intended, at the start of the month, I was like, right, got to the 27th. I'm going to make some, I'm going to contact the other, people, social media people who are doing, anosmia stuff. I'll contact Absent. I'll contact the girl who cannot smell, all these other, online creators who are doing stuff. And I did not. So I'm good at social media.
I am awful at social media as well, don't worry. When I was talking to my friend about this, because they've got a friend who is setting up a LGBT history museum event type thing, but it's an online museum, COVID safe and stuff like that. And they are largely aware that posting things on other social media gets you the clicks, but they don't understand why. And I'm in the opposite case where I totally understand why that works. I'm just really bad at doing it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to cross content, I used to, and I think that's why my Animal Crossing one did so well. I used to take the thumbnail and upload it to Instagram on my Henry is Human Instagram thing that I have neglected. And,
God, when did I last post on Instagram? Jesus.
Yeah, right. And it used to just be new video dropped on my old YouTube, and that would get people coming across, even though you can't post links in Instagram. People would go to Henry is Human, which is bizarre. I don't think I've ever put that much effort into responding to a post before, of typing in the link myself. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But people apparently do it. Yeah, it's weird. I can tell you exactly why that Animal Crossing one did so well, but mostly it's down to the timing, because the game came out the previous month.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit that right at the right point.
It's the second ever viral video that I've ever had. First one was on my Let's Play channel, when the game Pokemon Generations, which was a fan game, was first put into beta sort of thing, and they opened it to the public to play around. And it's just been made by this one person, and basically it's like a Pokemon Skyrim-y type thing, where you'd see Pokemon wandering around, and if you wanted to fight it, you'd have to aim and click and throw your Pokemon at them and interact with them and stuff. If you wanted to caption, you'd have to aim and throw the ball and stuff, and you could wander around like that. It was really, really cool. And so I made a video highlighting it, and it did it initially quite well. I think it was when Black and White 2 came out, and I released it pretty much the same week. And then that boosted it, and then Dan Nerdcubed retweeted it as well. And I was just like, oh, wow, thank you, Dan. And that one, I remember that did fairly well. But yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any conscious effort to get it like that. It's just luck sometimes, which is bizarre. But I think I'm figuring out how to do it.
Yeah, I think it's the thing. Once you've got an idea of what will make something potentially go viral, if you can do it enough times, you'll get the lucky one that does as well. Because you need that combination of just a bit of luck as well. But Jamie's asked, tell us exactly why. I think when you said that you could say why the Animal Crossing went well.
So, I mean, this fits in with the video I was planning on making, because that happened and I was like, okay, figured it out. I know exactly how this bugger of an algorithm works. I know how this works. So basically it's you get the right, you hit the zeitgeist just right. So something happens in the world, you got to get a video out to respond to it or to reflect on it or something like that. So the Animal Crossing being at the right time fit that. I also had the added advantage that I could make a video in the format of the rest of the videos on my channel about that, because it was still Cody. But to get the clicks, all I did was focus on getting my tags right and getting the title right and getting the thumbnail right. Because otherwise, then it's rubbish. Even if it's like the best video ever, no one's going to want to click on it if it's just not got the best things. And I think that's where I did well, where normally I'm not quite that so good at that. But what I did to get the tags is all I did was type in Animal Crossing into it, click on the first few videos, and export all the tags off those videos, filter out the ones that were rubbish for mine, and then put them into that video. And that, like, I noticed the second I uploaded it, it went to like 300 views, like an hour later. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I think getting the hook right is probably the most important part. Because once they're on, like, our content's unique enough that it's interesting, I think. Maybe that's me tooting my own horn, but I feel that if someone, like, the videos are short enough that you will potentially watch them all. And they're not so long that people will be like, I'm bored now. But they feel unique, at least, rather as opposed to Let's Plays when you click on those and you can tell within the first few seconds if you're going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like my engagement through that video, the only bit that it drops off it is where I put up the end screen card, and that's where it drops off. And I'm like, nice, okay, cool. So I think it's a combination of having unique enough content, and I think we all do, and getting that hook right. But that's the pain in the ass, I think.
Yeah. I've never quite mastered the title and thumbnail combo to get something like really snappy. I think it's something that with chilled out games I need to reassess, because the titles are very descriptive of, you have the title of the game and then chilled out game review. The idea being that by having the same bit of chilled out game review, it's more likely to recommend them down the side as well when you're watching one video, because it's got a lot of the same words in it.
Yes.
And then it's just the name of the game, so you know exactly what it is. But I think the problem is people only find it if they are directly searching for a review of the game, but they won't find it if they're looking for just vaguely looking at gaming content. They're unlikely to come across it. And I try and target things in the tags a lot. Like I do a lot of, because a lot of SEO guides will talk about how you want to hit individual keywords that help the algorithm, but then also phrases that are likely to be things that people would actually type into a search engine. So I have a lot of like relaxing games to play after work, and like as a tag, like stuff like that, just in case people are searching full sentences for that sort of thing. But I don't know how much that has actually helped. So
So do you use, Jamie has two very good plugins installed on Google Chrome. Well, I think one's called VidTube or something like that.
People talk about VidTube a lot, and it's something I keep being like, I should look into what this is, but I just haven't.
I
I'm
used
old
to
and
have
set in my
it.
ways. So
I'm on Firefox now, so I don't know if it's good, but I used to have it on Google Chrome. Google Chrome went through this phase of being really, really good and then slow, really slow. And VidTube was slowing it down even more for me. So I got rid of it. But I'm on Firefox now and on an SSD, and Firefox seems almost infinitely faster.
I am debating about switching more for just Google watching everything that I do on all my devices rather than anything. On my phone, I use Ecosia as my browser.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, TubeBuddy.
TubeBuddy. I might reinstall those though, because when I had it, it gives you recommended tags, and I think that's very useful.
That probably is worth looking into, yeah. Because
I only used it for those how-to code in Python videos, but those videos consistently seeing views. That's in fact, I haven't checked on them in a while. I get comments on them every so often. People being like, "When are you going to release the last 2 episodes?" And I'm like, "I'll do it in time." That was 2 years ago. But like, yeah, I think that the trick is in the tags. That's a cool phrase that we can take away, right?
Yeah, the trick is in the tags.
Part 1 has got 18,000 views. So like, I did things right in that one. But
yeah, I think it's the thing, like with looking on Jules Ender, like I've clearly done it well enough on some videos, because I have some videos with How to Ruin Your Mental Health has 46,000 views. And then I've got a couple of ones about PhDs, which have 39,000, 25,000. Like, I have managed to hit these things, and they consistently get views over time. And yet I don't manage it on all the videos I do. I'm just like, why did I do it with this but not with others? So
and again, sometimes it is just luck. Like,
oh yeah. Because the day in the life video of a PhD student that I've got as my second most viewed video, that had a few years back just a massive spike in views. It suddenly went from getting like 2 or 3 videos a day to getting hundreds. I got loads of subscribers off it, and then it just fizzled out. And I still don't understand why the algorithm just started pushing that to people like crazy for a few days. But
I think Will McDaniel put it, and I'm going to absolutely paraphrase the hell out of this because I can't remember the words he used specifically, but he put out a tweet, something along the lines of, getting your video boosted on YouTube is like, you have a big bowl of jet black soup, and you put your head into the jet black soup, and you bite down on something you think is a good YouTube video, and you pull it out, and hopefully that video is yours, but God knows. Like, and I think that sums it up quite nice.
Yeah,
because it's just chaos sometimes. Because it's you got to remember that there's like millions of people like all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's hard to. You tend to forget about that when you're in the thick of making your video, that you upload it. There's probably someone on the opposite side of the planet who's uploading more or less the same thing as you, with more or less the same tags, has the same mindset as you, and is just like, okay, and I've got this. And like both of you are kind of competing, but not really against each other. And it could be the case that neither of you get the clicks, but it's there is that luck. I think it's a spaghetti. You got to spaghetti it and just throw it all at the wall and see what sticks. I'm coming out with some top phrases today because I've had some coffee.
You got to spaghetti it.
You got to spaghetti it. Trick is in the tag, spaghetti it.
Oh, we know what the title of this stream will be once it's a video.
I'm desperately trying to find that Will McDaniel tweet about.
I hate trying to find a tweet. It's an absolute nightmare. It's like, Twitter, please make your search function work. Thank you.
Oh God, right.
No, especially if you know there was a video or something that you saw, because if you don't remember the exact phrasing of the tweet that the video was in, you're never going to find it. So
yes, yeah.
Ugh, stupid.
Tar. Maybe he said tar. Was it tar? It wasn't tar. Maybe oil. Someone called.
I thought you were saying maybe it was Taha, and I was just like,
no.
I mean, could be something that Taha has said.
Could be.
He is everywhere on the internet. I do. He tweeted the other day that like someone had said to him that no matter, although he's not like got a big social media presence, no matter where I go on the internet, Taha is there.
Yeah, I've somehow like managed to stay out the same sphere as Taha, but they're a good one, I reckon. That's my take.
We briefly hung out at Ruckus Retreat a few years back.
Yeah.
But
I am definitely not getting this tweet. I'm never going to find this tweet. It's gone, actually. Like a chunk of nugget in the bowl of black tar. It's my brain's shutting down. Coffee's fading away.
Yeah, it has done its job. We've got the cool phrases out.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So,
what is next in the old agenda?
Well, although the announcement video will go up tomorrow, we could have a little peruse about thoughts on next month.
Absolutely. What was the prompt?
Well, the prompt for this month was something old. Can you guess what the prompt for next month is going to be?
Something new. Something.
Yeah.
I was going to say something dumb, but then people might not have realized who are watching that I am saying something dumb on purpose. So I resisted.
So yeah, something new. Yeah. And I'm thinking to take that as some kind of video making thing that you've intended to do but haven't. So if there's like a software that you're wanting to use, now is the time to get that 14-day free trial and experiment with it. So,
interesting.
That's my thinking.
Okay. What are you thinking for this one, minus just software?
Well, this last month or so, I've been doing tutorials on Skillshare, learning how to use After Effects. So I kind of want to try and do something stupid where I've just throw all of the effects possible at a video for no reason. Like the worst I've just learned how to use After Effects video you've ever seen.
No, I'd watch that.
So yeah. Oh, Jamie's also said VFX. Yeah.
Jinx, nice.
Because I've used it briefly in the past, but my old computer could not handle it in the slightest. It just like the fan spun up, everything froze. It couldn't do it. So it did its best, but it had quite the pathetic graphics card. Whereas this one, it's slow. Like, don't get me wrong, but it manages it. So it does render out. It's sort of like one frame. So we get there, but it takes a while.
I think I've got an idea.
Ooh. Do you tell?
Not many people know this. I enjoy putting soil in the ground and throwing seeds at it and making things appear in that.
Beautifully cryptic way of saying that. I love it.
We have a Sun Terrace. So I figured out what it's called. It's called a Sun Terrace. It's supposed to be a balcony, but our houses are all terraced and attached to each other. So it's like the balcony, but there's a house in the way. So in the middle of our house on the top floor, there is a courtyard, essentially, with patio, not patio, just wooden. Is that called a patio? I don't know. What
Decking?
Decking. That's it. And there is enough light in there that you can grow the flowers and plants that don't really need a lot of light, but still need sunlight. You still get a decent amount of light. And it's fallen into disrepair because winter killed everything. And I am thinking, the idea in my head could be time-lapse of me making that look presentable. Or upstairs, we have a lot of broken technology from our kitchen, one of which is the kettle. Our kettle is busted. I do not know why, but I think there is some wiring inside it that is big time broken. And we've been like brainstorming what to do, because there's a fridge drawer that doesn't fit in because our old one broke. and so we ordered a new one. But sorry, the landlord ordered a new one. That doesn't fit in, so I went to just gluing the old one back together, and that works. And I don't know why we didn't do that in the first place. So that one's fixed, but we've got a spare drawer, and we were talking about how to use this, and I was like, oh, I could turn that into like a flower box or something. Like, just like do something useful with it, and it'll give the garden a weird vibe to it, and I kind of like that. The garden, Sun Terrace, because that's what it's called. And yeah, I kind of want to pretty up that, because at the moment it's just got a broken office chair on it, and some planters with dead flowers in. So I might take the fridge drawer that we have, the old kettle, and use those as flower pots and stuff like this, and that's pretty much the idea. I just wanted to see if I could maybe do that, or just because I like doing that, and I've wanted to use my channel for stuff that's not just software related, but I always worry that I'm like, is this brand consistent? and I think my response to that should be, it doesn't matter, realistically. Like, just make what you want to make. And so I will endeavor to do the time lapse of, this is my brain running out of, it's on fumes right now. I will try and do a time lapse making that place look pretty, and gardening up my kitchenware. Got there in the end.
Yeah.
So I'll see if I stick to that.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, because that's new. I don't think I've done that on the channel before. Unless I have. I just don't remember.
I don't think I've seen much other than coding related stuff really on your channel. So
I think my face has been used 3 times. One in the Halloween one in 2018, one in the Animal Crossing one, and one at the end of the Nostalgia one. I like that one, was really fun.
Jamie's asked, what if we were to make multiple videos for the prompt? Is that cool? Yeah. It's generally just about, don't overstretch yourself as much as anything. That's why we've shortened the maximum length of it. So I think, if you want to make a couple of videos, go for it, but also don't get overwhelmed with like trying to do too much, if that makes sense. So
I think the shorts on YouTube opens up a lot of interesting ideas for this, though.
Yeah, the fact that then it has to be under 60 seconds to be a short, it's like, I mean, so the last one, I filmed that on my phone because I wanted that to look old school, less good quality camera and all that. But it's like, like my tripod does have the option of like tilting 90 degrees. So I could film in portrait on my DSLR. So my tripod is hanging on by a thread, bless it. It is duct taped back together. One of the collapsible bits of the poles, like the clasps that stop it from moving, one of them sometimes just refuses. So you just it kind of gets wedged. So like it doesn't collapse, but like occasionally you hear a slight noise and it like slightly moves. And I'm like,
alarming.
I mean, I should just buy a new tripod. They're not that expensive. I could afford it. Like, I think that one was like 15 quid. It's like, I could just buy a new one, but like, no, I have this and it's fine. So, but yeah, that does tilt to 90 degrees. So I could film in portrait and have it decent quality as well as do it on my phone. But there was something kind of nice about just filming on my phone and not worrying about setting up a separate microphone and not really caring if the lighting was bad, because it was kind of supposed to be. Like, it was kind of freeing.
Yes. Again, that's why I love making those 12 Days of Christmas videos, just because. Yeah.
Low expectations, so it's fine.
Yeah. And if it does well, that's great.
Yeah. Like, really casual. So.
I think with those ones as well, especially with yours, you show the effort you put into it, not via the editing, but by the effort you went through. The effort you went to get that vibe, I think was the bit that shows the effort here. So I think editing, I think editing can take a hit, in that sense.
Oh, I did so much watching old vlogs. Like I completely messed up my YouTube recommendations after watching that.
No.
Like it's all really old videos from vloggers, and I'm like, although I kind of do want to go watch this really old Emma Blackery video, no, I'm just gonna like.
It's wild watching those videos. I get freaked out watching those videos because like I did after your video. I was like, oh, I must have watched some old vloggers. Let's go have a look at them. And I get really freaked out because I watched that video and I'm like, you can see right, like when I watched it younger, I was like, this person's amazing. Oh my God. But when you're like an adult, you look at that and you're like, oh, this is a child making these things. You're like, and they did a really good job. So I always feel weird coming away from those, just being like, well, it's like, it's not quite as big as worldview altering, but like
yeah,
along the same lines. It just feels weird, but it's interesting that's how you could get good on YouTube by just doing that, which is probably why there was so much of that content back then, because it worked.
Yeah.
I don't know what my point was in that. I was just like, I felt weird watching who was it? I watched an old Shane Dawson video. I was like, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is like absolutely nothing. It's zero. Welcome back, Jamie.
It's like a while ago, I went and rewatched all of the Vlogbrothers videos in order. Like it took a while, but I'd kind of seen them sporadically because I hadn't been following them until like, I don't know, probably around 2013 really. And they started in like 2007, 2008, something like that. Whoa. So that was quite a back catalogue. And at the start, they've been doing videos like daily. So it was a lot. But it's interesting watching older videos like that because, yeah, they are about nothing. Like, they just like, I'm just making a video, so I'm just going to talk to the camera for 3 minutes and that'll do. And it's just like... I do miss like the exploratory period of YouTube where there was no expectations.
Yeah. It was like the Wild West. It was great.
Yeah.
But the corporate machine got hold of it. I mean, like, I say that as a joke. It did. But better than the Vidcon saga. What's that?
Know what that is.
Is that something me and you missed out on?
Maybe. It's the thing, there's so much stuff that's on YouTube, things that like I'll reference things and I'll think, oh, everyone knows that because me and my friends all referenced it all the time, but this new social group didn't enter their consciousness at all. It's like, oh, now I just look crazy.
It's weird seeing YouTube then
from Alfie
now.
Days. The £1 challenge from Alfie Days. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's weird seeing old YouTube and new YouTube, and I think we've mentioned this in previous. We actually might have been talking about it at Sitsi, from what I remember, where it's like you've got back in the day. It used to be like you'd have big names, and that would be the community sort of thing. You'd have Ray William Johnson and Ryan Higa and Smosh, and the whole YouTube community would be around that sort of thing. There'd be like little pockets on the side and stuff, but generally it's like one coherent community sort of thing. And now it's definitely broadened to like lots and lots of sub communities, each with huge names in them, but like it's not the YouTube community anymore, sort of. It's YouTube fashion community or YouTube vlogging community and stuff like that. And I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. I just think it's interesting to see how the landscape has changed.
I do love that now you can stumble across a channel you've never heard of before and it's got 10 million subscribers.
Yeah, right.
And just like, what? How has this never come up ever before? Like, it's mad. James saying, yeah, he tried spending only £1 for a day, except went out shopping and bought a beard comb. Yeah, I do remember there was a thing of trying to draw attention to like living below the line was the thing, I think, the campaign that was used, and a lot of YouTubers did videos of like living below the line for a week, and we're saying how like in a way drawing attention to how difficult it is to live like with very, very minimal income, and like if you're on benefits, the amount that you get, but also they have access to all the stuff they already have in their house. So
and it doesn't bring up things like rent and mobile bills
and electricity and it was just on food for that day, and it's like, yeah, but you didn't, like, you found that hard and you actually had like 5 times as much money to spend on that. You know,
right. I think the sentiment, I guess, behind that is good, but sentiment alone doesn't necessarily mean goodness. It's
like just a lot of privileged white kids doing their best, but just missing the mark by a little bit.
It's always that, though. It's the point. The point probably was there, and it's been missed dramatically. What's this? He wasn't allowed to use ice from his fridge, so he had to have an empty glass of water. What? Empty glass? Empty? What?
Strange lad.
Very odd. But yeah, it's probably, I don't know. And I mean, you could get me talking. This is teetering on the edge of me going on a rant here, so I'm gonna not.
Yeah, we've already kind of gone to about the time for the stream. Like, we're coming up to the hour-and-a-half point. Like, let's not get into a rant. It's too late.
A very politicized rant. Yeah. So let's not do that.
We can save that for another time.
Gosh. Cool. I think I know what I'm doing for this prompt. I'll try and get the last one out as well.
Because, I need to do a bit more of this Skillshare stuff I've been doing. I've mainly been focused on learning how to properly use After Effects after my just messing around in it and not really doing a good job. How to actually find what I need to find. And then mostly focusing on motion graphics, because especially like with the freelance editing I'm doing, that'll be something that I can like sell myself on a bit. But yeah, most of what I've learned so far is how to do like unnecessary video effects. So just get me some stock footage of some fire and just like, woo, go crazy. Explosions.
I'd watch that. Just do a Tales of an Osmia video, but every so often you like flash cut with an explosion or something.
Yes. I have to think what the context will be for the short thing, and then just
See, that's interesting. I mean, like this, you could do a whole prompt on that sort of thing. Where, like, the first prompt was it the you've got to use the money sound, and then this music in the video, and I think having you've got to use this, and then working back from that to an idea was a very interesting one.
We can definitely repeat that again at some point.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, definitely something we can do.
I'm still trying to pass what empty glass of water means. Lot to think about.
On that note, I think probably a good point to wind the stream up to a close. So yes, there will be a usual prompt announcement video probably tomorrow. I haven't filmed it yet, so I will say probably. But I will try and get it up tomorrow. Like, they're quick to film. I've just got to talk to the camera and it'll be fine. So I'll try and get that done tomorrow morning. And then, stream at the end of next month to talk about what we made for the next month's prompt. Woo. And of course, the Discord is always there for discussions and whatnot.
Do we have a link?
There should be a link, but I don't think I have actually put that in the description of this video. Oopsie. The last announcement video definitely has a link to the Discord, and I'll try and stick one into the description before I forget. But yes, that is pretty much it.
Very cool.
So, right. It'll be last day of the month next month. What day of the week is that? Because this just happened to fall on a Sunday, which is very helpful.
Let's check my calendar.
It is a Wednesday, so a Wednesday evening stream, I imagine. So if that ends up not working and it'll just be me on my own, I'm happy to shift it back or forward one day just to work
I
with
am
people's
mostly
schedules.
free on like weekdays. I tend to use that for streaming, so I'm normally free for that.
Cool. All right. Right. Thanks for joining us, Jamie. And if there was anyone else lurking, thanks for being here. And new video will be up for the new prompt tomorrow, and then we will be streaming at the end of the month. So, see you at the end of March.
Bye.
Bye.